What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Lanes, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I just want to do a little checkup because Devin Booker made me feel very, 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 very stupid tonight. It did not go well. It was not an enjoyable experience. I did not have fun. I doubt you had fun if you backed me there. 4 minutes left. They're down 13, and Devin Booker, well, I know he had like 35 at halftime with 6 threes or something. He has 48. He's about to go over that 50-point threshold because why wouldn't he be? Nurkic having a ridiculous game too. He's about to put up a 20-20 potentially. He's got 19 and 18. That seems pretty good to have 19 and 18 here in the spot. But anywho, we are going to break down this 9-gamer. A lot more to be betting on here in the NBA streets. Again, it was pretty light on Monday, even though thought there were going to be some spots that showed up. It's not a lot of value, a lot of disgustingness. You ended up getting Zinger playing and Jaylen Brown out. Don't even know how that ended up happening on the Boston side of things, but very limited. Only 3 plays that ended up on my card from that one. Hopefully you were able to have a good day. I don't know. Pelicans, just thanks for coming. Have a nice day. Anywho, let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. That is for sure. Let's get to this 9-gamer before us. Producer Jacob, hello. We'll talk BetMGM and Odd Chopper a little bit later. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. We just covered 594,652 MLB games. That was fun. Good work was done. Let's get to the picks. Our first game of the night, we've got the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. I almost said Blue Jays. And again, I'm not the person who kind of like screws that kind of stuff up. We're talking NBA. We're not talking baseball, but my brain is definitely going a little bit in circles here trying to cover all of the things. And also, it's pretty easy when you've got the positive EV tool, so I don't have to complain too much. It does a lot of the work for me in some regards. And then you got to be able to put some inputs like this one. The Lakers got some massive questionable tags. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, but they continue to play through them here. We're 2 weeks till the end of the season. And there are a lot of these playoff probabilities that I want to bring up constantly here because this is going to matter big time. What I'm projecting out specific teams to be, or dunks and threes, or looking at team rankings, and you're looking at a lot of these different spots. It is very important to parse through where teams are, what they're going to be playing for. It can inform some decision making. Now, the Lakers have one of the wider distributions about where they can end up. They have all of a 1.3% chance of getting to the 6th seed. So less than 1.5% chance of finishing 4th, 5th, or 6th in the Western Conference. They'd need a lot of things to fall their way, but pretty good chance to fall into 7th or 8th, which gets you into that upper play-in game. And that, friends, gives you 2 cracks in making the playoffs rather than just 1. And you also want to be hosting that damn game if you can. Currently, their largest chance is to fall into the 9 seed where they'd be hosting the play-in game. You got to win to play the next play-in game, but 33.7% chance for that. Definitely think that you want to be utilizing, friends, an opportunity to get on board and get some unders on some plays that they're going up against, because I think this is going to be a team that really goes out and tries to play very, very hard right from the get-go. And what do the Toronto Raptors have to play for? Well, the answer is absolutely squad diddly-douche. Nothing. 0% chance to make the playoffs. 0% chance to finish in the round 1. 0% chance to do any of that. But RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley sound like they're coming back tomorrow, which again, that is a little bit surprising for me to see. And I think we definitely want to be jumping on some unders on things that open up early, like Emmanuel Quickley, 19.5 points. That's a little bit high for me, but also I kind of want to wait, kind of want to sit on this. Yeah, we're going to wait. Milwaukee taking on Washington up here next. This one's going to fall into the lean light category because again, I don't think it's a huge edge to be firing this one up. I've got this at like less than a 1% expected value. If you utilize the Odd Chopper tools, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's got the less than sign, the 1% sign, and that's where we're kind of looking at. But it's a point away from a lot of other spots, and I do think we're at least going to get pace, if nothing else, in this one. Milwaukee, even under Doc Rivers, playing crazy high pace. 5th now in adjusted pace, 100.8 possessions per 48 minutes. And then Washington's number 1 by a landslide, 102.6 possessions per 48 minutes. They do have some questionable tags that kind of, do you have to let it linger? Rashawn Holmes, Jared Butler, both of them questionable, but everybody, Milwaukee gets Beverly and Beasley and Middleton and Giannis and everybody else in, except for, of course, Damian Lillard. Does that slow it down a little bit here for them? What do they end up utilizing here in this spot? I don't know, but I'm thinking about finding out. Over 228.5. This is something where it opened a little bit lower over on FanDuel, and I think you can jump on board if you'd really, really like. But as it stands right now, I don't really know what to tell you. Next up, the Oklahoma City taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. That would be their team name, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Massive news from the 76ers here, friends. Tyrese Maxey, questionable. Oh, no, that's not the news. No, you have Joel Embiid doubtful, but close to returning. They said there was a chance he was going to return on Tuesday. Alas, ruled him out for this game. So feeling pretty good about what we've got going forward here. Tyrese Maxey, I think he ends up playing here in this spot, or they completely pun. You're going to find out very, 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 very quickly. But I think that's where you kind of want to like combine the idea of SGA, just smashing and then moving on with their lives. And I think you can do it this way. 30 plus points, going to be like, it's going to be 30 and a half, 31 and a half here, even against Philly in a slower pace matchup. Jalen Williams been cutting into the usage a little bit. Josh Giddey been playing pretty well, but overall, SGA 30 plus, and then combining it with a money line that's sitting at like minus 192. I think I could get down with this. I think that's a good way to make it closer to like the even money proposition. And well, Maxey doesn't play. This is an absolute smash, and that money line is going to move like crazy. So maybe a dip in now, but no numbers that exist here yet in the prop department, but definitely a lean play that I'm pretty darn interested in, just like I think I'm pretty darn interested in you guys jumping in that premium Discord. And you can do so over at Odd Chopper, friends. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. Really great stuff. I'm telling you, Odd Chopper, phenomenal tools. Utilize it, my friends. Positive EV tool, the fantasy optimizer, everything you know and love here. Fire it up for $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. That's all I've got for you. Oh, yeah, 20% off using promo code Lindy, Lindy. Look at that guy. He's pointing at expert picks, Discord, premium tools. Fire it all up, friends, all in one package. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I know that doesn't normally go here, but wanted to throw it in for the people. Let's get back to the picks. Run, don't walk to this play. Now, we've had some interesting, sorry, my hair is just doing all kinds of weird things. But anyway, we've had so many strange plays here of late, and they've all been like points-based. And I'm not somebody who's just like locking points ad nauseum, but for whatever reason, it would appear that the markets have opened really, really low in a couple of these numbers. Now, there's not going to be a middle opportunity here, but I'm just so floored by this opening number. I think you want to run to fire this one up. It's the Knicks. It's the Heat. Playing in South Beach. We're going to Miami, the Will Smith song. But I do know we have Miles McBride playing a lot more minutes here of late for these New York Knicks. I understand that. I understand that we don't have a deep rotation, but we have Mitchell Robinson questionable here, and we got Bojan Bogdanovic not really playing a ton, Precious Achiuwa not playing a ton, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle continue to be out. They'll definitely be in this rotation once they're healthy, but what is going on here with Donte DiVincenzo, and why is his opening prop number 15.5? I get 206 total. We're not expecting points. We're talking about two of the most lethargic, slow-paced team in all of basketball. In fact, the Knicks, the slowest team in basketball, 95.8 possessions per 48 minutes. We also have the Miami Heat there, second slowest, 96.7. So it completely makes sense that this is one of the lowest totals that we've seen all season long. And yet I still don't understand how we open at 15.5 here, because the usage is still out of control over the course of a larger sample size. The minutes are still out of control for Donte DiVincenzo. And now he's played 49 and 40 minutes here. He's played 40 plus minutes in 4 of their last 5. I know one was overtime. You don't get to 49 minutes without overtime, but still, he shot the ball terrible last time out. 4 for 16 from 3, 4 for 18 from the field. Not great, Bob. Not great. But the usage is still there. He averages 15 per game. But friends, 15 per game was in a 27.5 minute per game average. If you're playing 40 plus and you're adjusting that, well, you're going north of 17.5, 18.5 here pretty quick. And I do think this is a spot where they're going to try to do a lot of things defensively, because Eric Spoelstra can do that, to try to slow down to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's been the catalyst, averaging 28 per game, been phenomenal. Hasn't even had to be pushed as much as what the Josh Hart, what the Mr. Donte DiVincenzo had been, because I think Tibbs expects, well, hey, if I can get OG Anunoby and Julius Randle back, maybe I could take these minutes down a little bit, or they just kill Josh Hart and Donte DiVincenzo. He has no regard for human life, so I totally get it either way. But the usage, the projected usage that I'm throwing out here for him, a lot higher than what it would appear the books have going for him. And I think that's really what this comes down to, is trying to like shop for the best lines, utilize a market-based approach. But then when you're going around projecting the usage for each individual player, you can't go lower than like 22, 23% for this version of Dante DiVincenzo. I don't get it. He's a 59.3% true shooting percentage guy, a 40% three-point shooter, and he is going to shoot a lot of threes. Plus, the Knicks, they've played a lot of non-competitive games. They're only 2.5-point dogs here in Miami. This is a phenomenal spot to run, not walk, to get Dante DiVincenzo on your card at 15.5 points, minus 115 over on DraftKings. Just do it. Just do it. Thank me later. If you're playing Pick'em, 15.5 points. Love getting to this one. It's going to close 16.5, 17, maybe 17.5 tomorrow. This is your usage. I know Miles McBride's playing more. He's not going to have the same usage you're projecting that Dante DiVincenzo is. 18.5% usage for Miles McBride on the season. I don't get this opening number. Good talk. Glad we had it. What's better than one lock? Ghost locks. Houston taking on my Minnesota Timberwolves. Houston, we have a problem. You have no interior when you're starting Jabari Smith and you're just Jock Landale out there 20 minutes per game off the bench. And you got two double bigs here, Naz Reid and Mr. Rudy Gobert. Insanity, friends. In frickin' sanity. Don't really know what to tell you other than, well, I can tell you a lot of things. I'm going to be looking at Rudy Gobert points props. Yeah, you heard me. Rudy Gobert points props. Not the thing that I was expecting to have show up on my card in any capacity. But yet again, this is a spot where I think Rudy Gobert just gets as many putback dunks and gets as many easy touches at the rim. You got Mike Conley going out there with his 30% assist rate, just doing insane things here for the Minnesota Timberwolves of late. Now, are they going to be utilizing him in the framework of the offense other than like, just throw it at the rim and let him come down with it? No, that's not going to ever be what we ask Rudy Gobert to do. But with Karl Anthony Towns out here, we've seen big minutes for Rudy Gobert. 37, 34, 35, 38. Those are their last five. They've had some slow, difficult matchups in the middle of that. The Chicago Bulls, good rebounding basketball team. Denver, Nikola Jokic, pretty good. Heard of him. Detroit, doesn't really count, even though he only had 11 points there. And then Golden State, he's gone over 17, 21, 19. He's been getting to the line even. 15 free throw attempts against Denver. He's not a good free throw shooter. He's absolutely abysmal. In fact, 63.6% on the season. But my point is that he's going to have opportunities by playing 36 to 38 minutes in any of these spots. And with Houston, if they don't have Landale on the floor, what's Jabari Smith going to do in this spot? I understand that this is a good, much improved Houston basketball team. Like, especially on the defensive end, that has kind of been their calling card. It's just having Udoka just really, truly instill some defensive presence there. Jabari Smith went from a negative 0.8 defensive plus minus guy to a plus 0.3. That's 36th percentile to 71st percentile. I don't know what to tell you, friends, other than that is an opportunity to get over, to fire up Rudy Gobert here. Jabari Smith, all of 6'10". He's not going to do anything in the interior to stop him from dunking and doing all of the freebie things. It should be a very easy night for Rudy Gobert on the board. Should be a very easy night for him to smash. But this points prop, about 2.5 too low in my opinion. 13.5 points, locking the over. Super quick, super easy, friends. BetMGM, the presenting sponsor here of our program. Up to $1,500 in bonus bets. If your first bet loses, you sign up down at the link below. It is truly as simple as that. I have nothing else to add. If you have DraftKings, if you have FanDuel, if you have all your other lovely books, BetMGM is an amazing one to add to the party because some of the best pitcher K props, some of the best opportunities to jump in on points props when they jump up early like this one over in Arizona. Lots of opportunities, friends, no matter what state you're in, where there's legalized betting. BetMGM, ready to rock with you. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. The Spurs taking on the Denver Nuggets. My God. It's going to be fun to watch Wemby. It's going to be fun to watch Jokic. It's going to be fun to watch those two go at it in some capacity, even though Jokic, he's been doing pretty good in this spot. But either who, San Antonio, 17-point dogs for a reason. They're not nearly as good as what Denver is going to be. Do I feel like dealing with this? Do I feel like dealing with this game in any way, shape, or form? Probably not. Thought about Jokic triple-double because that could be the default answer at plus money, but 30 minutes? Probably something that's in play here, considering, well, there have been a lot of third quarters where Jokic goes out and then just never comes back in because they're up infinity points. I do think Wemby's going to succeed more and more as he gets along in this matchup, just gaining experience, getting some tread on the tires, getting his feet wet. He's looked pretty freaking good, if you ask me. Pretty incredibly good. It's shocking when people say he hasn't. He's been unfreaking believable. Yeah, San Antonio plus 17 is a lean here, but I'm not going to play anything. There's nothing from a prop perspective that looks all that intriguing. Really slow-paced matchup, pretty efficient numbers. Let's move on. I do have some interest from a prop perspective in this one, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Let's talk through Cleveland and Utah. Cleveland, pretty sizable favorites. They get Donovan Mitchell back into this basketball team. Changes the complexion of this offense. There's no doubt about it. Been a much markedly better team with Donovan Mitchell on the floor than off. Not shocking. He goes into his former team, takes on Utah here with his Cleveland Cavs team. They're back to full strength with Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. I guess not full strength with Okoro, Craig Porter Jr., and Dean Wade all hurt. It's kind of weird to look at, but I guess it was right toe soreness for Okoro. We'll see when he comes back. It should be quick. Dean Wade's actually #1 in defensive rating. I thought that was pretty funny when I updated my sheet today. Made me laugh a little bit. I don't know. He better be because he doesn't do anything else. But you do have an opportunity. I'll say an opportunity if you really want it. Max Strus opened at 17.5 PRA. Find that to be pretty low here. I was going through the minutes projections. Obviously, Karis LeVert off the bench, playing around 28, but like Max Strus is going to play 28, 30 minutes, and there's more upside with no Isaac Okoro there. Sam Merrill is not going to be long for this game. Marcus Morris, they signed for the rest of the season, but kind of an insurance policy. And George Niang, his former team, the Utah Jazz here as well, but like legitimately, is there a reason to go completely nuts and like overinvest in 17.5 here in Max Strus? I'm not positive. I'm not in love with it. I don't think we need to go all that crazy with it. I don't really know what to tell you. Projected out is the best play from this one. Yeah. I don't think we should bet this one, actually. But we should definitely bet this. Let's finish off with a bang. The Clippers taking on the Sacramento Kings. We've picked on the Kings at appropriate times, and now, well, it kind of feels bad. You kind of feel like a bad kid. You know, it's like, picking on the kid I shouldn't be at school. But like, no Malik Monk, friends. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Now, Kevin Huerter also going to be out here. They're going to have to put Keon Ellis out there, who's been a good, decent enough defender, but like floor spacing might be hard to come by or harder to come by unless Harrison Barnes can take on like some of the offensive load like he has the last two and continue to be successful there. They're going to maybe need some minutes for Vezenkov. Like not Donovan Mitchell, but like the other Mitchell, like we're talking the inferior one, the Davion Mitchell version, the defensive-minded Davion Mitchell. He's played some more minutes of late. This is not an ideal situation. And now you've got a Clippers team that had been reeling here of late, but I think getting everybody back and having an opportunity to go to a bench that you can kind of rely on, that's going to be useful. One of the healthier teams in basketball, James Harden, Terrence Mann, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Zubats. You got your whole starting five. And then a perfectly healthy Norman Powell, Amir Coffey, Russell Westbrook, Mason Plumlee. Bones Highland's out of the rotation here now. But 9 guys, getting Russell Westbrook back to play his 18, 20 minutes a game, it's going to do wonders. You're going to have him go out and run 100 miles per hour for a couple minutes, and that's going to be useful. You don't want him playing a lot more than that for what it's worth. But I think in this spot, Clippers, this is pretty undervalued. It's at 2 in a lot of places. FanDuel has it at -1.5. So go bet it at FanDuel -110. Good talk. Glad we had it. Half unit play. Let's get out of here. Just kidding. There's one more game. Dallas Golden State. Forgot about it. Producer Jacob. Thank you. Just broke it down. I just updated my stuff. There's a prop. PJ Washington over 12.5 points plus rebounds. This was 10.5 against Sacramento. That would have been better. He's playing a ton of minutes, friends. We're going to see playoff-like rotations for Dallas and Golden State here going forward. I think Golden State still is going to be pretty diluted because the minutes have to be more spread up. PJ Washington, 32, 34 minutes. I know they have Tim Hardaway and Dante Exum and Maxi Kleba and Derek Lively. If Derek Lively is going to be out, PJ Washington might play a bunch here. I know it matters more for the back center minutes because Daniel Gafford maybe goes from 25 to like 28 or 30, but that's beside the point. PJ Washington, as it stands now, just a lean. Let's get the heck about it. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA streets. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist here on the board for this lovely little 9-gamer. We're going to have lots of stuff going in the premium Discord. I'll have some stuff over on X. Firing it up over there. Good times, good talk. Glad we had it. Thank you, producer Jacob. Really fun times. Until next time, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.